Let's now talk about locking and disabling our tracks. So we talked in previous videos about making cuts to our videos, and I said, all right, I can select this area here and I can choose to cut that out. And we saw that that cut will make a cut through all of the tracks that I have highlighted here on the timeline. And again, I use these handles to drag and select an area of the timeline that I wanted to edit. Now, it might be that you have a track that you want to protect. So let's say I want to add this Firefly background music. Like I showed you before, I'll right-click the track, I'll insert a track below, and then I'll grab this music and I'll just drag it right down to the track. Now, if I found an area over here that I want to delete, I can select this area because I see it's just silence. If I hit cut, I can see that it's actually cut out part of the background music. That's not going to sound right. And so I want to undo that, and I want to protect this track. And to do that, I see that there's this lock button or lock icon. And so if I click that, I can see that the track changes. Instead of me being able to see it easily, it puts some lines through it and it's kind of graded out so I can't see it anymore. And it's saying that now I'm protecting this track so that you can't touch it, you can't edit, you can't remove parts of it. It is protected, it's locked just the way it is. And so now when I go through and I try and do a cut, I look and nothing's changed down there, and I can unlock this just to verify, and sure enough, it's all still one track. That didn't move at all. And so we can use locks when we know we have tracks that we need to protect. It might also be that I have my screen recording that I need to protect during that time. So I could say, well, let's lock this one and let's lock this one at the same time. Now those two are protected, so now I can just remove part of my audio and my camera, grab these two, do a cut, and I haven't affected the background music or the screen recording. So use this lock icon to protect your tracks and keep them from being edited. Now there's another thing we can do, and that is to disable our tracks. There are times when I want to move something that I can't see, I can't get to on the screen. And let me give you an example. Right now, as I look, I can't see my screen recording. It's behind this video of me. And if I need to get to it to make a change, it's not available. So what I can do is I can go to this track that has my video and I can click this eyeball icon, which is to disable this track. And now when I disable it, I can see what's behind it. I can go in here, I can click, I can resize, I can move, I can put it wherever I want, and then I can re-enable. I say, oh great, well you know what, maybe I'll take this and I'll slide this over here and I'll crop out this part here, right? And so now I'm able to work on this rather easily. So there are times where you might choose to disable a track so that you can get to the tracks that are below it. It might also be that I want to produce this video, but I want to produce it without a track. Maybe there's a track that I don't need at all. For example, if I were to produce this now, it would have this background music. And I say, well, I want to produce it with the background music when I load it to YouTube, maybe. But I want to produce the video without the background music when I'm doing it for my class. So what I can do is click this Disable Track icon. And now this won't even be produced in the final video. So I'm saying I want to keep it in the project, but for this one version of the video, I want to have this track removed. So those are the two ways that I use Disable Track. I use it to get to the media behind, and I use it to disable it whenever I don't need that entire track inside a video. And so because you have that as an option, I recommend trying to keep all of your tracks of a similar type within one track. In other words, what I don't want to do is I don't want to have this background music on one track and part of my audio and part of my screen and part of my camera all in one track. Because then if I need to disable any one part of it, I can't do that. Instead, keep those different items on different tracks, and then if you need to disable it for any reason, you can do it easily.